Buonasera, buonasera, buonasera everyone. Welcome to our third episode of the Insider News. I'm connected here today with you all from a very, very cold Italy. As you can see, I'm in my warm clothes because the rain is hitting the Italy and my city. I'm sure you saw also in the news that we have a lot of rain, but it's fine. We go on, thanks God, with our technology, with our Instagram, Arabian Insider, and I'm ready and happy to be here with you today. So we have a lot to talk about today. So many guests, so many content in our Insider News. This new project that we have, a connection that we have with you all to actually share and talk about the news of our industry, the news of the Arabian horse world worldwide, to talk about the news, but also to talk about very interesting contact with you all and with guests, and to talk, because communication is very important. So we are here, we want to talk about things. The first, let's go into the concept of the guest that we have today. The first section of guests, we are going to talk about the European show season. So I'm going to invite and have with me shortly Mr. Jaroslav Lacina, that is the Prague show organizer, a very well-known judge and breeder, because we want to talk about the beautiful show in Prague that we have been many times, that really made a beautiful journey, and we have some very big news for this. Then we are going to jump into the next very important show that it's in Europe, of course, Menton. Menton was very difficult this year. We risked not to have the show, and then the show was back, so I want to hear it all from Miss Christianne Chazel, that will be with me connected, not in Instagram, but I'm going to call her live with you all. And then I invited Mr. Koenraad Detailleur, because a very important judge, show organizer. He came up just last week recently with a very beautiful new concept for all the European breeders. So I want to hear it all from him, and let's see what he has to say. Then, after them, we have a lot. We are going to have a lot of many other guests. We are going to talk with Mindy and Suzann about our stallion spotlight of the day, which is dedicated to Berlin and P. And then, a very important concept. We are going to talk about the new Ecaho rules. You heard it well. And I'm going to have here with me Nils Ismer, Christianne Jamar and Mohamed Hammad to talk about the subject and really see what they have to say to us. So let's start with the first content. Let's see a little video tribute to the Prague Intercup. The promo, so let's connect with Jaroslav Lacina. Let's see if he can be with us to talk about the show. Our technology is good, but it's always also kind of difficult to make it work, but I know he is with us, so let's see. I'm gonna invite him.
Hi, Francesca. Can you hear me?
Here he is. Hello, Jaroslav. How are you?
All good, all good. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. Back home after a beautiful trip to Lebanon, and very happy to have you here with us.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me. So thank you for the invitation. So
Jaroslav, you know that I invited you here because I'm a big fan of your show. I've been there many times, and this year we have a very, very big news regarding that. So my first question would be, for all of us to know, tell me a little bit the story of the Prague Intercup show. Like, when did you start it? Why? Tell me everything about it.
Yeah, it's a pretty long story, so I know that we don't have a whole night to talk about this here, so I will just make it short because we are organizing the international show in Prague from 2010. It was the first edition of the international show. We were organizing national shows under Ecaho from 1999. And already around the year 2006, 2007, we start thinking about organizing the international show. However, the quality of the horses here in our country wasn't that strong or that high, so we didn't want to, let's say, make our breeders feel a little bit uncomfortable with showing their horses. So we were still waiting for improvement. But at the end, 2010, we decided to organize the first edition of the show, and it was kind of success, at least from the participants' point of view. And since then, we're organizing the show internationally as well. So that's the story, and for sure this year we have some news regarding the new status, and this is for sure for the first year here, and we will see how it will work. So that's the short story.
It's a beautiful short story. And now I have a personal question for you. Of course, to be in this field, to organize show, to be in the Arabian horse world, you need to love horses. So I never ask you those questions, like where your passion for the Arabian horses come from?
Well, I loved animals since my very early age. I've been saving and touching all the animals around in nature. I was always feeling, let's say, sad when I found some little birds or whatever. So I had a connection with animals for a long time. And I was always dreaming because my grandma, she had, or they had, my grandparents, they had a farm which has been confiscated during the communism time. All our land has been taken away, so we had only the farmhouse and the stables. Also, all our animals were taken away, but that's a long time ago. I was not even born at the time. But when I was a little boy, I was coming to my grandma for holidays, and I was always playing and planning like if I would have horses one day. And my dream became reality, and now I'm living on the same farm. I built my house here, and I have now currently 9 horses on the farm. And I just love Arabian. I just love horses and animals generally. With Arabians, I got connected, let's say in 1991 or two. I don't exactly remember which year that was. I always dreamt to have Anglo-Arabian horses because I love their look, their riding abilities, and so on. But at those years, the guy I was going to ride the horses, and I was taking part in some competitions in show jumping and also a little bit of racing. He started importing 𝐈𝐍𝐒𝐈𝐃𝐄𝑑 horses from Russia, and he had also a friend who started with Arabians for already 3 years. And connection happened over there, and I lately switched to Arabians. And from that time, I've also been asked to be a manager of the farm, and I've been going through a lot of things. So there, my love to Arabians actually started, and it's kept till now, and it will be kept till the end of my life for sure. So
For sure it stayed, it didn't go away.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, that's a beautiful story. And now tell me a little bit about the Prague Intercup. We all know that it became a show. Which is the plan for the show this year? How this happen or for the future?
Yeah, as I said, we were organizing international show from 2010. We had always a B international status, which we were very happy about, and we were trying to improve the show every year. We were organizing the show originally in the hall on the island in Prague on the Vltava River. So that was a nice place, but we during the years we reached some limits, and we have had to think what the next step will be. So we moved the show in 2017 to a big park, which is close to the center of Prague, and we organized 3 editions over there. They were also successful. Even we have been during the second edition over there, we have been hit by the big storm during the Saturday afternoon, and a lot of things were damaged, but we were able to finish the show the day after and so on. So this gave us a lot of experience, even with the weather out there, and And then 2019, we organized also the evening program over there. But there was a lot of stuff to do before the show because that ground is not ready for horses. So we have had to literally build everything. We have had to bring water pipes and water tubes, electricity, build the stables for horses, for sure mobile stables, build the whole showground. And also the showground itself was not totally ideal for horse shows because if it was dry, it was dusty. If it was wet, it was muddy. So we were thinking what to do. And in 2020, during the COVID year, first year of COVID, we have been asked if we can organize in Prague a European Championship, which is a title show. And at that moment, when I asked our board, because everything belongs to decision of the board in our country, because the show itself is organized by our association. I'm only the one who is managing organization, but our association generally is the one who is the official organizer of both events, Czech National Show or Czech National Championship, and also the international show. So when I brought this idea, everyone was very excited. We agreed about that under one condition, that we will probably have to find a little bit better place than in the park close to the center, which was very attractive for people to come because it was literally 5 minutes walk from the city center, old center. But for the horses, it was a little bit more difficult to stay at the showground and so on. And also for us, in case the weather would change and would be really turning into some disaster, we wanted to have our horses always safe. So for us, the safety and comfort of horses was on the first place. So we start looking around, and one of our members, she recommended us a new place, show jumping arena, which is located on a Prague race course. With this idea, I was like, okay, let's go there. Let's see that place. And I know the Prague race course for a long time. We have been also racing with Arabians over there already in 1998, 99, 2000, and we've been cooperating with Jockey Club. So I was a little bit curious how it's going to be over there because I saw some pictures. And then when I arrived, I was impressed. I was impressed with the whole location. And what impressed me the most was the possibility for horses stabling, which was very comfortable, very luxury, very safe. People could also arrive several days before the show. They can leave after the show. And this was for us really, really one of the most important things why we decided to go there. The second thing is the showground itself, because the surface is ready for show jumping. And it's absolutely the most quality surface which you can get at the show property. So this was the other advantage of the place, and we then agreed that we will try to make the European Championship over there. After this 2020 edition of our international show and also the European Championship, we've got really, really nice and overwhelming feedback from participants and from everyone who came there. Because people, when they came to the show and the showground, they also fell in love in this place immediately. So from that moment, we made agreement with the owners of 𝐍𝐄𝐒 Arena, which is the name of the place officially, that we will come back every year and we will organize our national championship and also international show over there. And during the year 2021 and also 2022, we received very high quality of horses. And we were thinking what to do with that because we always try to make the show for people and for participants to when they come, to give them a chance and opportunity to relax, enjoy, to have really a possibility to not only see the horses, but also to see a lot of things around. And we were thinking with this high quality of horses, what we can do. And we said, okay, we have a nice place. We have got also recommendation from the DCs, and several people asked us if we were not thinking about, let's say, higher status of our show to, let's say, ask for a show. And this was the first hit. So I brought this idea again to our board. We had some hot discussions about that, but at the end, we all agreed that we will try to do this. So we sent last year, at the end of the year, official request for upgrade to a show, and it has been approved by Ecaho. So this year we will try to make our a show for the first time.
This sounds super. Well, what I can say, as I've been to your show many times, is that I really appreciate, for sure, the place, as you described, is fantastic. And also the effort that you put into it from kind of every point of organization, because we have the catering, also the spectacles that you always try to organize that are absolutely not banal, but you always try to do something more, something very interesting, something that people is not used to see, that also keep the tradition of course, your country. So I can tell you all guys that are watching us that you did a super job. So I'm very happy, very, very happy about this upgrade. And I hope we will be there with you to witness this year as well.
Thank you very much. We will be for sure very happy if you come again. Or we will be also very happy if more people come this year to see what we're doing. What you said is true. We're also trying to put a little bit of, let's say, history of our country in our program. We would like to show our handcrafts and abilities, what Czechs can do, also the writing abilities. So we're trying to pick every year some little things from everywhere we can, and we try to make our program as more attractive as possible. Even Prague itself is a very attractive place to come. So everyone can not only enjoy the show, as I said before, but they can also enjoy the city, which has a very long history. And I think it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And I'm not saying that because I'm Czech, but because I've been traveling a lot. And Prague is to me very special. And always when I come there, because I'm not living in Prague, so for me, it's also a touristic place generally. So always when I come there, I feel I have a very specific feeling, and I have a very strong connection to the city. So I hope that more people will come and they will experience the same.
I'm sure they will. So here officially we are invited you all to join the Prague show this August. And with that, I thank you so much, Jaroslav, to have been here with us to explain your story and your beautiful news with the Insider News.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I would like also to thank to our sponsors who were supporting us through the years when we organized the show. And also big thanks belongs to all the participants and visitors who came through the years. And I hope they will all come back this year. We will make something special. Don't forget, this year we have 3 days of show. What I would like only to add at the end, if I can shortly, we took this year as a year. So it's not only a show, international show, but we will organize on Friday also a amateur show. So this is something new from our side. We would like to welcome, or not welcome, but invite everyone who has, let's say, tendency to show their own horses to get ready for Prague, because Friday in the morning or around the midday, there will be organized amateur show with a little bit of prize money, and details will be published very soon, and I hope people will like it. We would like to bring people together. We would like to make people really enjoying, to give them a chance to chat also with the bigger breeders. So I hope they will use this. What I would like to also add shortly is that we organize during the international show also 2 rankings again, as it was used to be organized every year for the B show. So we have an open ranking, international ranking, and then we have a ranking for European breeders owners, which was actually idea from our association when we organized in 2012 first night show for European bred and owned horses only. And the year later, we also proposed Ecaho rules for European breeders shows, and this has been accepted. And from that moment, we have also under Ecaho European breeders category of the show. So I hope people who would like to show their horses, who would like to have them comfortably stabled, and who would like to have them enjoy the show, please come to Prague. You will see, you will enjoy it, and we will spend nice 3 days, and I'm sure you will have a great time. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Very good job for the amateurs. This is amazing.
Yeah, I hope we hope that it will attract people again to come back to the shows, because for sure these years it's a bit more difficult for normal people to compete. We know what the struggle is, and we're trying to support them this way. We will probably not even ask for entry fees or stabling fees. We will give to these people, to the amateurs and the owners of their horses, to come for free and to even win a little bit of prize money. So this will be our, let's say, investment into the future, and hopefully people will get it a positive way, and I hope that we will see many horses in this competition as well.
Beautiful idea. Beautiful, beautiful idea.
Thank you
Congratulations,
so much.
Jaroslav. Now I need to say hi to you because all our guests are waiting. But thank you so much for your time and for what you're doing for the Arabian horse world.
Thank you so much, and have a nice evening, and good luck to other guests as well.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So you can disconnect now. This was a beautiful conversation with Mr. Jaroslav Lacina about Prague. I have to tell you, I've been to the show many times, so just go if you have the chance. It's in the middle of August. The weather normally should be nice. From Europe, you can go and travel everywhere you want, so it's a nice occasion. I will probably be there, so to meet you all and to celebrate the Arabian horses in Prague. So, in the meantime, Mr. Jaroslav was speaking with me. I saw that you sent me so many messages and so many people joined, so thank you so much. This makes me so happy. And I had one message saying, how was your visit to Lebanon going? So let's spend 1 minute about this because I really want to reply to this question. We had a beautiful, beautiful time. I have to say, and I also in the past days shared story, really thank you to Danny Gosh, Samjad, and all the people in Lebanon because, well, you made us, you really surprised us. The trip was beautiful, the show was nice, short, of course, but then we also really appreciated the time that we had to experience Lebanon. I have to say the welcoming was just fantastic, and we had a beautiful experience. I also spoke with the judges; they all loved the experience. In terms of horses, for sure, like there is a huge space of improvement in terms of numbers. Let's put it this way, but it's normal, and you know, and this is so it gives me so much energy because I can properly see a future there. So we felt safe, we felt welcomed. I personally had 2 beautiful days with all the Samjad team that really took a good care of me and the Arabian Insider team. So it was just beautiful. Thank you so much. Way to go, Lebanon. And thank you for everyone that really welcomed us in the country. So now it's time to go into our second guest, Miss Christianne Chazel. I'm gonna call her live with you all, and she's gonna speak with us about Menton. I hope that you can hear her. I will put her in loud. Unfortunately, she couldn't connect with us video, but she will be live with us through her phone call if she becomes. Let's see. As you all know, here she is. Bonjour, Christianne.
Bonjour,
Francesca.
Francesca.
Ça va?
Ça va.
Très bien. Christianne, thank you so much to be here with us. You are connected live with me in Instagram, with all the people following us that really want to hear from you about Menton and your journey.
What you want I tell you?
So first of all, I would like to ask you, why the Menton show is so important for you? When was the first edition, and why did you decide to organize the show?
We organized the show first year. We started in 1991. And, you know, we organized this show because many years before we had one small event in Cannes, in the Stade Espéry. And we have one show in this part of France. You know, French Riviera is something amazing. And because we have some friends, we find this place in Monaco in 91. And we built the show in 91 with a lot of European people, but French people especially, and Italian. At this time, it's just Italy and France participate in the show. And in 92, we organized one special show, and the name is Trophée des Alpes, because we have a lot of Italian, and we make a special award for the horse who participate in one show in Menton and one other show in Italy. And in 93, we have the European Championship in Menton in the end of August. And after with the European Championship, we have many people coming from all Europe, and it's a big success. You don't imagine. We have around 200 doors. So we make box in the parking. We make box everywhere. And after this show, we are thinking people like too much this event. We need to make something more important. And this time I have been in contact with many people from Arab countries, especially in Egypt. And in Egypt, I am looking. I see a lot of people from Qatar. And at this time, I have the idea we start something new, and we start the idea with Mediterranean and Arab country Arabian Horse Championship. And we start in '93 with this 94. Sorry, with this show. We start in '94 with with Mediterranean and Arab country. But at this time, during many years, we thought. It's not exactly like we have now, because I smell all the country from Gulf country, from North Africa. They have a lot of interest with the show. And when we start this new idea, we start, but every year we have one country. 1 year we have Tunisia, 1 year we have Morocco, 1 year we have Jordania, 1 year we have Qatar, and we start like that, you know. And step by step the show is start. And in 2000 is the last show we make, because after that we have a municipality, don't help us more, and we have no sponsor at this time. And we stopped the show in 2000, is the last, we made 10 years, 91 till 2000, 10 years we have the show. And we stopped 3 years. And during these 3 years, that is a life, I have a proposition for organize the show with Sam Abdallah in Emirates, and we start in 2001, the show in Sharjah, the first Ecaho show in Emirates in Sharjah. And the life is like that, and I have, one day I see Naila Hayek, she's invited for Judd, and she talked to me, she tell me, for what you stop Menton? I tell, well, we stop Menton because the municipality don't help us more, and we have not enough money for organize a lot. And after 10 minutes, she come back to me, she tell me, if you find one sponsor, like this time is Blampen, you start again the show, and we give you what the municipality give you for help. And we make deal, we tell, okay, we start again in 2004, but we need not just, we don't start for 1 year. If it's just for 1 year, I stop. And we start again in 2004 with Naila Hayek, because if we have this show, we need to tell thank you to Naila. And after that, because we are in Emirates and we know a lot of people, we start in 2004, and many people from Emirates are coming, and people like the show, and we start with a sponsor, and step by step we build a Menton like is coming. And I think the success is maybe if we change the place for 10 meters, we have not the same success, like everything. But people enjoy the place. We built, you know, that we have a lot of new idea. We start with 3 medals, because before we have just a champion and reserve champion. We are the first. We start with gold, silver, bronze. We start the yearling. We start all the special award. Every year we have some new idea. This year we make something new. We make one special award for the best European horse in each category, junior, senior, yearling, male, female. And we build the show like that, and because you know that we are working also outside Europe, we find a lot of friends, a lot of people, and we are lucky, we have many sponsors, and if you have no sponsor, you don't make good show, because we need a lot of money for that.
For sure.
That is the story of Menton.
And Christianne, this year we had a point in which you were struggling a bit to organize the show, and we were all very worried that this would not have been happen. Can you explain us a little bit what happened and why you managed to have Menton back?
First, I want to tell you something. Many people know, good people are talking. We stopped the show just to make one big advertising and for find a sponsor and blah, 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 blah. But it's very easy to control. When we stop the show, one day is Friday, 20, I don't remember exactly, 22, 23 of February. Because we have, at this time, we have some technical problem with the municipality, and after 7 months, the municipality don't give us accord. But it don't tell yes, it don't tell no.
Okay.
And because we book all the hotel, in front of the show, we book 3 hotels, we need a correct with the people. I am working in Menton till now 33 years, and I don't want to make something bad with the people. We block, tent, the box, LED, everything. But we don't finalize. And we decided, because we have no answer after we send letter, a lot of things, we decided it's not possible because we are leaving to Dubai, and we need to stop because after when we come back it's too late. And we take the decision because we have no approval from the municipality, and we decide we stop the show. And the same day, we send letter to the municipality. We cancel all the room. We cancel the tent. We cancel the box. We cancel everything. We stop everything. Everything. That is Friday. Sunday evening, I receive one call phone from one guy. Is a president of all the restaurants in Menton, and he's the owner of the Dolce Vita. The red restaurant we have at yes. And this guy, he called me, Chazel, it's impossible you stop. This show is too much important for the city, blah, 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 blah. He give me a deck and he tell me, if I talk with the mayor and you find a way, blah, blah, you come back, I expect no. I stop, I don't come back. Oh, that is Sunday evening. Monday evening, he called me back, he tell me, all the commercial, he make letters, the restaurant, the hotel, he go to the municipality, he speak with the lawyer, with the new mayor, and the mayor, he don't imagine how this event is important for the city. And he tell me, he won't call you, and blah, 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 blah. He tell me, I think he called you. I tell yes, he called me afternoon, but I don't give answer to him. Because he don't give me answer for 7 months. He called me, I give answer in 1 minute, I speak no. I don't give answer to him. That is Monday, 6 o'clock. The day after is Tuesday, and with Dominique, I live in one part of, near Spain. Dominique live near Italy. And we have a meeting all together at 5 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock in Marseille, because we go all together to Dubai. And when I wake up Tuesday morning, I have one email from the mayor. But I check and he give me excuse. I am sorry. What I make is not correct. You need to accept my excuse. We need you organize a show. Blah 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 blah. And okay, I spoke with my husband. I spoke with Dominique. My husband tell me, okay, now you need to give answer to him. You decide what you want. And I talk to the mayor and I say, okay. When I phone to him, he gives me answer immediately, and he tell me, Mrs. Chazel, I hope you are fine. I speak, no, I am not fine because you. But I don't understand what is coming for what. We send letter, we send email, we send WhatsApp, we try by the secretariat of the municipality or the mayor. No way, nothing. And after that, he talked to me a long time, blah, 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 blah. But we are really sad because we don't want to stop this show. And I know how it's important for all the handlers, also for the breeder, and people enjoy it. And we talk, okay, because we are a poor lady, we accept to come back. But I make one condition. As this time is 9 o'clock morning, I tell him I leave from my place at 2 o'clock. 4 o'clock, sorry, 4 o'clock. He tell me, okay, when you come back from Dubai, we make accord, you know, we make a contract, we decide. No, I am not confident with you. Really, I am not confident. If you want, we come back. You need to send me some proposition, clear, what we are talking. If I don't receive at 2 o'clock afternoon, forget, because I leave, I have no more time and I am not confident. At 2 o'clock exactly, I receive the contract signed by the mayor. And we start again.
Very good.
But what I don't like when people behind me are talking, Chazel, she makes that because she wants sponsor, because she wants make pressure to her body, is wrong. If some people think that he needs to talk with the municipality, he needs to talk with the hotel, very easy, Napoleon, talk with the director. This guy help us, you don't imagine, all the restaurants. And in Mantom, you know, it's one big event, you know, c'est la fête du citron, the lemon, you know, it's one thing during two weekends. But after that, the more important event in Mantom is
the horse show.
Arabian horse show. And also for the restaurant and the hotel is more important because the people coming, they are not the same.
Of course.
He spend a lot of money, he go, you know how he's working.
Yes.
And we start again. And before we start from our house at 4 o'clock, we send letter again to everybody. We make the show, we send email to Arabian Essence, for everybody. In 4 days, we change completely what we plan.
Very good. Well, Christianne, I thank you from all the Arabian Horse community for all the effort that you put since years, but especially this year, to bring Menton back, because this show is very important for everyone, but especially for Europe. It's very important to have the horses here and to keep having very important shows for everyone. So thank you so much for the effort that you put into it.
I want to tell you something more. Before when you start, you tell me this year is the sun, is the sea, is the sun. And you know, we are in one moment in the world. We have the problem in Ukraine. We have a lot of people fighting. We have the crisis. We have people that are not happy everywhere. You have a lot of, lot of problems in all the countries. Not one country, it's all the country. And we decided we make, you see the design, we make something like cartoon, you know. We want to make the people enjoy. We smile. We go to show for enjoy, not for fighting. If we win, you are the best. If you lose, you are the best also. Important, we need the people enjoy. And for us, this show, more important, you know, every year we have one idea. For us, this show is the sun, is the sun, is the sea. And we want people happy. We want to see everybody smiling.
Very good.
That is the dream we have this year.
And this is a beautiful concept. So everyone that you are watching us on Instagram, please come to Menton and come there to really enjoy the Arabian horses, which is the most important, because we are all here for a passion, first of all, that are our beloved horses.
Okay, thank you, Francesca.
Thank you so much, Christianne. I hope the best for you, and I see you soon in Menton.
Okay, see you soon, and come. You need to come with smiling.
This for sure. You will not miss my smile.
So you won't know that you have a smile every time, and you are a nice lady.
Thank you so much, Christianne. We need to enjoy life. We live only once, so there is no time to be sad.
Sure.
No time.
And we see too much bad thing around us, and we need
exactly.
to enjoy.
Exactly.
So,
big kiss, Christianne, and I see you soon. Thank you so much for your time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. So this was a beautiful conversation with Miss Christianne Chazel, organizer, of course, of Menton. As you can see, it's not always easy to organize a show, you know, and in our business, it's very easy to talk behind, to, you know, have proper ideas, whatever, but then, you know, the reality is that for everyone, it's not always easy to keep going, it's not always easy to do the best, and to keep going, you know, with all what we do. But the reality is that the passion of the Arabian horse, it's so strong, and we are all here for that reason. As you can see, the Arabian horse is not only important for us that we understand the passion, but is also important for all the environment, because if you think about it, the Arabian horse brings the world together. This is why you guys are watching me, you know, you are connected with me from all over the world. I see people watching me now. Just because you love horses, you know, if it would not be for the horses, you will not be here watching me. Maybe you would be there doing something better than spending your time with me, probably yes. But beside that, at least you are enjoying, and this is the power of this horse. It can connect people from all over the world. It brings people together, and it's also very important for all the environment that is around the event that we organize, because of course for the city, for the restaurant, for the hotel, like the Arabian horse creates like a machine, you know, and creates so money, and it gives workplace for everyone. So it's just so important. So this year, please come to Menton, come with a big smile, because life is too short to be angry, to fight, to be sad. There is no reason to do that. Just come, enjoy the sun, enjoy the sea, enjoy the Arabian horses, and do that in Menton, but do this every day in your life. Just go to your horse in a stable, smile, hug him, cuddle him, and be happy, because this is the why we are all here. So let's start with our third guest. This Inside the News is kind of long, but you know, when you have a lot to say, you just talk. So my third guest is Mr. Koenraad Detailleur, because he came up with a fantastic idea, fantastic project for the European breeders. Very, very important. It will happen in Belgium. So I invited him because he really deserves this. Good evening.
Francesca, good evening. Good evening. Yes, well said that the Arabian horse brings people from all over the world together. It's a fantastic ambassador, nor either religion, politics. It brings people together in a fantastic way. That's absolutely a beautiful topic, Francesca.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. It's just the truth, you know. It is what it is.
Yes.
So, Koenraad.
Yes, absolutely.
As I told you when I invited you here through my phone call, I was scrolling Instagram and I saw the post of your new initiative, your new project. I read it and I literally jumped out of my chair because it's beautiful.
Well, we have a lot of support. We were surprised as well. It's already a long time that I was brainstorming to do something about the basic in Europe. We lost it, you know, and the only way I think to do it is basic show breeders, bring breeders back to the show scene in a nice way. So I was brainstorming to create something, and when I looked at the show calendar in Belgium, we have 3 shows with the Breeders' Cup. So I was thinking, why not to create a challenge instead to work against each other, to unite it. I reunited Bruges people from the Bruges show, Josie Everas from Elrond Cup, and we ourselves from the West Coast Cup. So we want to go and work together to create something nice for the people, and I believe strongly in it. I heard many people, there is a lot of enthusiasm for it, so that's fantastic. So we bring the people together. The breeder show is open for everybody. Polish people can compete in Belgium at the breeder shows, Dutch people, Germany, French. It's open for everybody, but in the breeders competition, we held the challenge. So the challenge is open for small owners with no more than 15 horses in ownership. You must be breeder and owner to participate on it. to keep it as fair as possible for the normal breeder. So yeah, we're going to create three shows: Bruges, West Coast Cup, and Elram. But the people are not obligated to participate on all three of them, to participate on the challenge. No, it's not obligatory. They can do it with 2 participations, even with 1. You never know. There is a beautiful system we created to give points on it. It depends on the class, how many horses are competing in the class, and also they can earn bonus points by winning silver, bronze, or gold. So it's a very beautiful system. Of course, you make a bigger chance if you compete at the 3 shows. You make a bigger chance to win. And a fantastic thing as well is we have extremely nice prizes. People are very enthusiastic. We have fantastic breedings from some famous stallions in the world already, and the list is growing. Unbelievable. The list is growing, so this is very nice. But top of the bill is we gonna invite the winner, all included, flight tickets, hospitality, stay over, entrance to the Qatar show. So the winner can go. It's a beautiful prize, in my opinion. That it can stimulate people. Yes, that's fantastic. It's offered by 𝐈𝐿𝐃𝐄𝐒. So this was a very beautiful gesture to give this as a prize. Fantastic. So we have many stallions as well. So far we have RB Mansurat, Mahboub Al-Hawajir, Kanz Al-Bidayr, 𝐍𝐄𝐼𝐃𝐄𝑑, Galeb Al-Zubair, Berwas Al-Bustan, Berlin MP, ES Harrier, and the list is growing. So I expect to the end of the week even more stallions. Next week we have a meeting with the Belgian board, and I think they're going to help us as well to create, to help us to finalize it and to create something beautiful.
So, Koenraad, let's
that's the goal.
A little bit for everyone that just connect with us. What are we talking about? Mr. Koenraad Detailleur came up with a beautiful initiative that is called the European Breeder Challenge. Okay, this is basically a challenge for all the European breeders that are small, so that they don't breed more than 15 foals per year. Correct me if I say that wrong.
Ownership, no more. They can't have more than 15 horses in ownership. So it means
this is a competition for the small European breeder that they don't own more than 15 horses. So
yes,
I can compete. I don't know.
Yes, you can compete. Me as well.
Actually, they can come and they can compete in 3 different shows in Belgium for the moment, and I hope that this initiative will grow. That is West Coast, Bruges, and Elram. So in these 3 shows, these small breeders that decide to participate, they can go. They can participate with their own horses. They can also be the one that shows their horses. They don't need to have a professional handler. If they want, yes. If they don't want, they can show themselves. And they can participate at the show. For them, we have some beautiful prize money. And Koenraad, tell me if I said it wrong. So basically, for what I understood, this European Breeder Challenge is like a league, because if I decide to participate in the 3 shows, I will actually collect points, correct? Okay.
Absolutely.
And you were telling me about the prize money, about the beautiful list of stallions that you collect, and the fantastic trip to Qatar. This is amazing.
Absolutely. We are happy that we can offer that, thanks to the help of 𝐈𝐿𝐃𝐄𝐒 and many others already. So even in the future, when it went very well in Belgium, it can grow. We can accept to have a show in Holland, in Germany, and the challenge can grow. So that would be fantastic for the future. I hope it can become very popular. And it would be a nice thing for the European show scene.
And tell me, Koenraad, for the prize money, so how does it work? Only you will have prize money for each show, or the prize money will go only for the one that actually compete in the 3?
At the end, the horses with the highest points will receive the prizes, of course.
So it's for the one that compete in the league. This is fantastic. Conrad, I think I
Yes,
also want to thank so much the organizer of Bruges, the organizer of Elran, you know, because
absolutely.
they said yes to your initiative. They put the effort to start something different. Of course, we all know that is not easy to keep going with the economical situation that all Europe is living, and not Europe but all worldwide. And it's
Absolutely.
not easy for the European breeders to actually compete, to keep breeding. I feel that because anyway, it's a huge expense. We do for the passion, but it's difficult. So things like you just did, it's really like oxygen for us. It's beautiful.
Well, we try, that's the goal. We try to encourage the people in a nice atmosphere, have fun with their horses, and let it grow, let it grow. I hope for the future to see it everywhere.
I hope it too. I
That
can
would
tell
be
you, Conrad,
fantastic.
that from my side, I will try to really promote and support you with the communication, the media as much as I can.
Thank you
And
very
I
much.
will try also to organize this in Italy. So maybe to talk with some show organizer and try to have this in Italy because it's fantastic. Like anyway, the Belgium, it has a lot of horses, but I understand that for a breeder, Italian breeder, it's expensive, you know. It's not easy to bring like for me my own mare to come and compete in Belgium. So the best thing is it will really be to have one of these initiative in every like a key country in Europe, so that all the European breeders from everywhere could really enjoy it.
Absolutely, and you never know in the near future if there is such a breeding competition in Italy, Holland, France, Germany, then we can perhaps create an ultimate
Yes.
final, you know? From all those countries, we can
Yes,
create something special.
absolutely.
That would be
And
fantastic.
this
This is our
would
goal
actually
to
be
confirm.
like
Yes,
actually really
this is
be
our
like
goal.
a proper league, because imagine if all the countries in Europe would have this league, and then there will be like a proper final that can actually maybe access then to the World Championship, to I don't know, to Qatar, to bigger show. It would be fantastic.
Yes, yes, yes. That would be, yes, yes. It's a new challenge for the European
Inshallah.
breeders.
Look,
Inshallah.
you gave me goosebumps. You really
Thank
gave me a
you.
smile. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and all the Europeans, I think.
Thank you very much, Arabian Insider, to help us to bring the promotion for us. It's important as well,
All what
Francesca.
I can
Thank you
do,
very
I
much.
will, as always.
Okay. To everybody, people are very welcome, mostly welcome at the Breeders' Show in Bruges, West Coast Club Elran, and hope to see you soon as well, and
I will
hope to
try
meet you
my best to
there,
be there with you.
Francesca.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you,
Okay,
Conrad.
okay.
We see you
Buonasera,
later.
and
Keep
we
going.
see you later.
Keep going. If you have updates, let's send it to me, because I will spread with the word.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you very much. We keep in touch.
Bye, Conrad. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So this is fantastic, people. This is fantastic. So important. So important. And actually, I thought a lot also about it. The idea to have a league like in every kind of other professional sport is just fantastic. Because if you see football, if you see all the other big sports, also equestrian sports, they have qualifications, you know, they have the league. And this makes it so easy. So I understand we have so many shows around all the world, but to have a league for European breeders, small, they can actually not afford to go in the bigger show, and to have prize money is just fantastic. So please, to all the European show organizers, ears up. Try to organize this in all the countries, and let's try to make this initiative grow. I'm absolutely up for it, as you can see. Anyway, fantastic ideas, passionate people coming together to promote and push the Arabian horses all around the world. This was our section for the European season. I had in mind that this would have taken 30 minutes. We are already 1 hour live. So, but as I said, you know, whenever you have a lot to talk about, and I knew that this episode would have been long because we had so many guests and so many things to talk about. So let's not bother you with my words. But we jump into our next section. Our next section is the Stallion Spotlight. This time we decided to focus on one beautiful stallion, which has a very interesting pedigree. He comes from America. He is white. He is beautiful. He won everywhere in USA, and now the latest news is that he is coming to Europe. So this is fantastic because I saw him in America, but every one of you will have the chance to see him in Europe as well, and maybe in the Middle East. Let's see. I'm talking, of course, about Berlin MP. So for Berlin, today I'm gonna have with us the beautiful owner and breeder, Mindy Peters, that will be joining me just shortly from Mindy Peters Arabians. And then I will have Suzann, breeder and owner from America. I know her very well from INZ Arabians, big passionate, that had a beautiful colt, Milan INZ from Berlin. So she can tell us actually something more about this beautiful stallion. But before starting, I want to show with you all a little video about Berlin. Let's see if it goes. Yeah. And this was just a little video about Berlin MP with the beautiful Mindy that was talking with us about him. I just invited her live with us. So let's see if she's going to connect with us shortly. I spoke with her. You have to know that Mindy Peters from Mindy Peters Arabians comes from a huge, long generation of breeding. Her family was breeding horses, so this is just into her blood. I know Mindy since many years, and she just loves horses. So here I am with, I can just see Suzann, you need to turn your camera, so please just push so that we can see you. Oh no, we lost her. Okay, I'm gonna invite her again. Let's see, wait. You know, technology is very good, but not everyone can use it properly, especially, you know, for the older people, because it's not so easy. Is unable to join. Okay, I'm trying to connect her again. She just had to turn the camera, but actually she decided to just end up the live. So let's see if we can connect with Suzann, and I also invited Mindy. Let's see if they are going to be with me or not. Of course, it's always a bit difficult, but invite. Let's see. I'm confident that we will have both of them with me. Otherwise, I'm gonna share with you some information about Berlin. So why I decided to talk with Berlin? In the meantime, we see if we can connect with them or not. I decided to talk about Berlin because I think he is a very interesting stallion. Okay, so Suzann.
Yes.
Hello, you're live with us, so don't disconnect the live.
Okay, I won't. Sorry.
The only problem is that we see you just need to turn your...
Yeah, hold on, I got it. I know how to do this.
You got it? Okay.
Well...
You have to press the two arrows that are like
I
this
did.
So that we can see you and not see
did.
your phone.
I did.
Just
but
turn your
has
phone
happened.
then. You don't need to see me. I'm not that beautiful. I also look tired. So it's just look into the camera of your phone so that we can see
All
you.
right.
Well, that's
okay,
also a solution.
All right, hold on. Let me put it over here. Sorry.
No worries, Suz. We just want to see you. So, because I
All
want
right,
to
I'll
introduce
just hold
you
it.
to all the people.
Okay, but I'm so sorry. I'm pushing the arrow buttons and
Voila!
there we go.
Yes, we have you. No, I lost you again.
Oh no. Okay, let me try.
Click it again. Click. Yes. No.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, here you are, Suz. Fantastic.
Sorry, I apologize.
No worries, no
This is
worries.
this is my first time on Instagram, as you can obviously tell.
I know.
And there
Ciao,
is Mindy in her car.
Right now. Mindy, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, the connection is not super strong with you. So, okay, now we see you.
I'm not with internet right now. I'll have internet. What is it? 4 o'clock my time? When is my interview? 4 o'clock?
No, your interview it's now, and you're actually live connected with you in the Insider News with me and Suz. So we are already live.
Hi, everybody. Okay. Okay, then. Well, hello.
Hello, Mindy. Well, Mindy, you look beautiful. You look amazing as always, even if you are in your car and looks like you were not totally ready for this interview. So, Suz, you can hear us properly?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
In the meantime, we wait for Mindy to actually connect as
Sure.
her internet is not that strong. I invited
No.
you, and guys, you have to know that Suzann made a big effort to be with us today because she didn't have Instagram. So she actually called the technician to like install Instagram in her phone. She made the profile because she really wanted to be with us. And Suzann, thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Francesca.
So, Suzann, I invited you because I started to talk with all our followers about Berlin, which is, in my opinion, one of the most interesting stallions, like coming up stallions that we have around, especially in America nowadays. Of course, he proved himself as in the show career as he won everywhere. Yeah. But now he's proving himself as a stallion as well in terms of breeding. So, Suz, can you tell us a little bit about your little beautiful colt that you own?
Okay. His name is Milan, and he was already named that when I purchased him at 5 days of age. I broke my own record because I had bought a Shanghai EA filly at 7 days of age back when I guess it would have been 2014. But when I saw this colt at the Arabians International presentation, he came around the corner and he was so refined. I thought he was a filly because he's so beautiful and just has an aura about him that I cannot describe. People that have seen him, and a lot of people have seen him both internationally now because of the Scottsdale show and the AWBC show that we had in April. And he has won the hearts of so many people from all over. I had I wasn't even going to be at the presentation, but a friend of mine, Julie, said, oh, please, please. She had no car. They were from Missouri. So I said, all right, we'll go. And the next thing I know, I own a colt, which I had always, when I bred a colt, always marketed them because it wasn't my desire to stand a stallion or own a stallion. He changed everything for me. And he's actually 3 months old. Today is his birthday. And I cannot wait for him to be displayed more and get in the show ring. And I believe he is going to make a mark for himself. People that have seen him are pretty much speechless, and he's just so special. And he comes from such a beautiful stallion who is so prepotent, and he has the best of his mother, who is a Shangri-La Balthazar daughter. Very limited in when Sandro had Shangri-La Balthazar here for only 1 year. So he didn't breed a lot of mares because he wasn't here very long. But this mare, her name is Zara, is beautiful. And they have rebred Zara to Berlin, and they say they want a filly, but I don't know. I think if they had a colt like Milan, they would be happy as well. So
Actually,
I'm
Sandro
just so
said that to me.
yeah,
He said if he said if I get
exactly.
cold like Milan, he goes, I'm just as happy.
Well,
Exactly.
I'm
Because
sure.
Mindy, I mean, this was so unprepared, Francesca. They brought him around the corner, and Rory O'Neill started talking about him and his pedigree. And then I believe, I'm trying to remember, I think they had already shown Berlin just prior to that, and then they brought the baby out with Mom. And Rory
Suze
had a
doesn't even
connection.
remember. She was like so enthralled with this baby. She like walked right up to him, and it was like it was over. Those two connected, and it was over.
Yeah.
But when you were saying, Suze, about his aura, I think that's so true. Berlin has this kind of aura about him, and most of the babies do as well. It's very, I can't really explain it unless you have experienced it yourself. There's I don't know, some kind of incredible energy that's just very magnetic. It's really incredible.
And you know, Mindy, I believe that these babies, you don't teach them the proudness. They are born with that. When they're conceived, I believe that they're born with that. And you can't teach them to be a show horse. They are either one or they're not. And the Berlin babies that I've seen, in addition to the one that I bought, all have that beautiful spirit and fanciness about them.
Yeah,
He's very prepotent.
attitude.
I agree.
Yes.
So, Mindy,
Yes.
now that we can finally see you, you are beautiful as always.
Hi, Mindy.
Oh my God. You guys, seriously, I have no makeup on. I was in my car. I thought that my interview was like 4 hours from now. I was like, oh, I'll take a shower, I'll get ready, but I guess not.
Mindy,
Well,
you have a face.
Mindy, I think that this is the proof that you are just so beautiful in your natural shape, because
Exactly.
like I can tell you, and I'm a woman, so if I tell you that, it's for sure real.
Well, thank you. I'm a little embarrassed, but I'm here, so.
Don't be. We are all happy to see you. So, Mindy, I want to hear you about Berlin. You are the breeder, so tell me about him. I know the story, but I want you to tell to the other one. Tell us the feeling that you had when you first saw him and your relationship with Berlin.
I was in Brazil judging Brazilian nationals. I was a guest judge there. And so I took his mother, Baraka, to Al Arab because I knew she was getting close to foal. And I got a call from Yanina, and she said, you had a colt last night. And I was a little, disappointed. I was really looking forward to having a daughter from Baraka. And then she paused, and she said, but I think he's going to be a stallion. And for Yanina to say that, I'm very close with Yanina, and I was also very close to Siggy, and for one of those two women to say something like that, like, it really hit me in the stomach. And then I got kind of excited. So when I went home, I went over to see him, and he was standing next to his mother, and I looked over the edge of the stall, and I just couldn't speak because he was so different and so beautiful, so refined, and so pretty. He almost looked like a filly, and I just knew there was something different about him. There was just absolutely something different. Since then, we've had a wild ride together. He's won a couple major championships. He's been a little bit of a, I don't know if you want to call him like maybe an underdog. He comes from a very small breeding program. But we're really, really passionate. And I bred his mother also. So for him to go in and have the wins that he did, and the scores that he got, and, He was high scoring horse last year at the international show at Scottsdale, and then at the show when he won the World Cup, he won his class by 7 points, which is really, really incredible. One of the things about Berlin that's really fantastic is that he's so balanced. Like he does very well under the scoring system because he's just really very hard to fault. And I've had a lot of judges say that to me too. He's just incredibly balanced. He's got amazing motion. His neck and his shoulder is really set right to be able to move beautifully. He's exotic, getting more exotic every day. Even Sandro said to me the other day, he goes, I swear this horse gets prettier every day. It's like he just is really drying out in his face and getting really beautiful. But genetically, he has some interesting things about him that I think are really coming out in his foals. Like, for one thing, he's homozygous gray. A lot of people love that because our quintessential Arabian is gray, you know? And for me, it's my favorite color. But
mine too.
Yeah, so every foal is gray. They all look similar to him. And I think that this homozygous gray is also a genetic marker for something. But pretty much every foal I've seen now too has a white heart on their forehead when they're born. There's like 2 babies that have had something a little bit more than that, but they always have something white on their forehead. It's like a little stamp.
Mindy, I remember
from Daddy.
because maybe this come from Baraka, because also Zuera, that was also by Baraka, out of Baraka. She also had this little really heart in her head.
It's all the love, you know, the love is coming through this line. So actually Suera, who was unanimous gold champion in Menton, she's a full sister to Berlin. Yeah. And Suera now lives in Italy. She's shown by Giacomo, and she has won since Menton. She's won, I think, 5 or 6 more unanimous gold championships. It's quite a strong line.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we only have 2 full crops on the ground so far from Berlin, but I mean, I get photos and messages. It's kind of overwhelming emotionally for me because, you know, years ago we had a horse named Bosk, who everybody knows. He's wildly famous, and they used to tell me that he got fan mail. And Berlin actually gets fan mail. Like, I get messages now through social media and emails. And the other day, a guy sent me a picture. He was printing on his printer. He was in Italy, this guy. He was printing a picture of Berlin to hang on his wall. Just today, he sent me a copy. He had the picture, just paper, framed and hanging on his wall. Aww. I get things like this all the time. I've had breeders call me and say, you know, my family's bred horses for many years. We have decided not to breed. We haven't bred in like 10 years, but we saw Berlin and we decided to breed again. So these kind of things, it's so overwhelming and exciting for me. There was a lady that came to Scottsdale who walked up to his stall. She asked if she could meet him, and I said, of course. So she walked up and she met him. She just burst into tears. And I said, are you okay? And she said, he's just so beautiful. And she said, his energy is so incredible. And I knew what she meant. She didn't mean just that he's beautiful. He's really something very special. I can't wait for you to actually meet. Well, you met him. You met him at World Cup last year.
I met him.
But whoever actually gets,
Actually, like to see Berlin was one of my thing, like what brought me to come to US last year. Like there were different reasons, and one of these was to see Berlin in real, because it was successful before then, and I always heard about him. And when I saw him, like I told you, I am a great fan of him. I like him. I like him a lot. Yeah. I think it's complete. Like his stand-up is just fantastic, and anyway he moves is correct, and he's proving himself. Of course, as you say, this is only the second fall crop, so we cannot know how the little babies will grow, you know, because this is one of the points that breeders always say, yeah, okay, we produce beautiful babies. Of course, it's only the second fall crop, so we cannot know how
Yeah.
the baby will look like in 10 or 15 years, but for now, they look fantastic. So this is already something. And
I feel like that's absolutely true, what you're saying. I have a really good feeling in my gut because I've been doing this my whole life. I'm a third generation Arabian horse breeder. I've foaled out a lot of foals. I've seen a lot of generations, a lot of pedigrees, and also in my experience with this family, I own the grandmother, I bred his mother, I have I have sisters, I have, you know, now some of these foals on the ground. I know how this group produces, and I think that the mare line is incredibly important, and Baraka, his mother, is probably one of the most beautiful mares I've ever seen. And just this line, from the way I see them grow, they, you know, sometimes they go through stages, but they always go better. It's like a mountain goat, you know, they like this, they level up, you know, and I do believe that's what'll happen with Berlin's babies also. I'm pretty confident.
Francesca, Francesca, may I add one more thing, because Mindy and I have become women who share the same passion, and she loves all of the Berlin babies, no doubt, but there's something that reminds her so much of Berlin in my colt, that we are in this journey together. And, you know, Sandro and Gil own the mother. So it's like a wonderful excitement that we see ahead of us to just, and with her having foaled and bred Berlin, and then me buying the baby at 5 days, you know, I guess people could say, you took a big risk, 5 days, but it wasn't. In my gut, like she said before, I knew. And I just am so grateful for her and Berlin and Sandro and Gil and everyone who has seen my baby, who appreciates him, because I just feel like the Berlin and him and other ones of his foals are going to make such a mark in this industry for years and decades and decades. So if anybody wants to see my colt a little bit more, go to my 𝐈𝐍𝐄𝐑.com, and there's a beautiful video on there and some pictures. And I just thank you very much for inviting me to be on this. Sorry, I think I'll be more technological the next time if I get an invite. So,
no worries, you did it great, Suze. You did it great. So we're really looking forward to. I mean, I'm gonna follow up. Excuse me, with you, Suze. This is not the last time, because when Milan is
no.
I'm gonna call you again to see how we develop.
Okay.
But
Well,
I
we
have one
hope
more
he.
for Mindy.
Yes.
Mindy, I mean, you just announced a fabulous news about Berlin, because he is going to Europe. Tell us something about this.
Well, I can't say much, but he will be coming to Europe. I think he'll probably be there in Belgium approximately mid-June. He will be there briefly for a few months, and then he's going on somewhere else, and I can't mention where yet, but it's very exciting. This is a really, like, we're so excited about this next adventure for Berlin. I can't say a whole lot. He'll be at 𝐍𝐄𝐑 Training Center, and I think we're planning some kind of, you know, party or special presentation for him, maybe after Aachen or something. All this is still, it's come together really fast, but it's a really, really exciting opportunity for us to share Berlin with our other amazing Arabian friends around the world, and I couldn't be more excited for, you know, just to share him with everybody else. So yeah, it's a really great opportunity, and we hope that everyone who wants to see Berlin will come and meet him.
Absolutely. We have Kelly Campbell connected with us, that she just texted us. Exciting. So let's thank her for the beautiful picture that she did, no? She's the one that...
Thank you so much. That picture is like...
It's wow.
I mean, I've got so many messages about that picture. It's like crazy.
Yeah. Okay, girls, so I thank you so much for your time. I really wish you all the best, and
Thank you.
I wish the best to Berlin because you really deserve it. You, Mindy, I know you, I know how passionate you are, and how such a good breeder you are because it comes from
Thank
your
you.
heart. I know that. So
Mhm.
I really hope that this is just the beginning of your journey of success with him because
Thank
you deserve
you.
it all. And Suze, as
Thank
well,
you so much.
you love horses
Yes,
so much.
I've known you for 7 years now, and every time we meet, your smile is always just brings joy. So I'll see you at Scottsdale, and
I hope so.
we're looking forward to it. Okay.
So,
Bye,
thank you,
Mindy.
girls. Thank you so much.
Safe
I wish you all the best.
travels to Europe, Mindy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
We'll
we'll
see you in
see you all
Europe, Mindy.
later.
Okay.
We can't wait.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Same here.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.
And Ellie Nelson just text me, Sahara Scottsdale cannot wait for their 2024 Berlin Falls. Ellie, I feel you, and absolutely we want to see, how Berlin is producing. Kelly Campbell says more photos and videos are coming soon. Well, very good. Send it to me, Kelly, send it to Arabian Insider so that we can share the journey of Berlin all over the world. More pictures, more videos. People, you can make your own idea about this beautiful stallion. I saw him, I love him, and I'm gonna breed with him, this for sure. Even if I don't have so many more mares, but I'm gonna try. Okay, so this was our section with the beautiful Minnie Peters and the passionate Suzann Vince. But now we talked about shows, we talked about interesting things, we talked about stallions and babies. Now it's the time to talk about some very serious things. So our next step is dedicated to the new Ecaho rule. We have new Ecaho rules that touch different kind of sections. These were approved by the Ecaho. So I invited Mr. Nils Ismer, that is a breeder and owner at Ismer Star and national judge, to actually talk to me and explain us what are the new Ecaho rules. How does it work, why they made it, and to tell us all the specifics about it. And with him, the beautiful Christianne Jamar, Ecaho judge, Ecaho member, breeder at Jamar Arabians will be with me as well. And also Mohamed Hammad, veterinarian, ringmaster, and DC, because I want to talk about the new Ecaho rules and see different aspects about this. So let's accept all of them. So we have Mohamed, we have Nils. I'm gonna invite also Christine. Mohamed, buongiorno.
Hi, Francesca. How are you?
Very good. Ciao, Nils.
Hello, good evening. Hi, Nils.
How are you guys?
Good. Good, very good.
Very good. I'm gonna invite Christine as well so that she can be with us and then we can start the conversation.
Hi.
Voilà, here she is. Ciao, Christine.
Hello, everybody.
So, thank you. First of all, thank you to be here with us tonight. We have something very important to talk about. That is the new Ecaho rules about different concept. So, I would like to give the call, first of all, to Mr. Nils. Because Nils, I would like you to explain to me and to everyone that is listening and watching us about these new Ecaho rules, what they are. So what's new?
Okay, what's new is that Ecaho in the future is requesting to have a veterinary certificate from exhibited horses about genetic or hereditary diseases, and it was started with the two parts, which is one is over and underbite, and the other one is cryptorchism. Both things are serious issues in our breed, and they both are a quite big damage to the horse. In case of cryptorchism, for example, to geld with cryptorchism is a huge surgery instead of a normal castration, and it also influences the fertility. We took these 2 points in the rule work of Ecaho because we believe that the shows what we are doing is breeders' shows, and we are giving their horse which they should use and the stallions they should use. And the Ecaho board was in favor to give a clear sign that these things are not wanted in breeding programs. And especially in the last years, we found quite a lot of important good horses, beautiful horses, which, for example, had an over or underbite in extreme case. And we believe that the shows should not be a promotion for horses which with this major defects. That's the background.
Okay. But when you talk about, for example, underbite and overbite, which are the limits? Because, you know, underbite and overbite, for sure, they can be like massive or just slightly. So which is the limit that you're talking about in the rule?
The limit is the depth of one teeth. So if the teeth are not touching each other anymore, then we decided that this is not acceptable anymore.
Okay. And you say that in the future. So my next question, of course, it's when these from when these new Ecaho rules will be applied?
Yeah, this was still under discussion. As you know, I'm actually not anymore in the board of Ecaho, but it looks that they will be applied or should be applied when the new Blue Book rules are online. And it already has started now. And yeah, it should go from now on.
Okay, so I'm gonna pass the talk to Christine now. Christine, I wanted to ask you, like, so now we are putting a limit for the underbite, overbite, and also the other problem. But how are you going to control this? So what happens when a horse has to come in a show?
Yes, when it goes to the show, let's start with the beginning. When the baby is born and you can see the under of an overbite, there's something you still can do. And this is maybe, you cannot see it as cheating now. It's to help the foal there to be in the future to eat properly. But it could be already in the belly. It's also for sure hereditary, but also it could be a leak of like the phosphor calcium. I have been there 30 years ago in the Middle East. I will not say which country. And I was at one farm and I saw about 30, 40 horses with almost, let's say, 80% the same problem. And the horses came from different countries, different breeds, race horses and everything. And I have been thinking this is not only hereditary, it's impossible. And then I talked to somebody else about it, the breed, and he said it can be a leak of minerals. So like the balance of phosphor and calcium, because phosphor and calcium, and Nils knows this is the most important thing for the construction of the bones. And it can be all jaws, it can be everything. So I was thinking also when you feed the mares, because most countries are eating grain, that was more phosphor than calcium and not enough hay. So I think it's very important in the future to take very good care of your pregnant mares and the foals growing up. This I think we should help. And before they go to the show, of course you have to check them, but please try to help them before it's too late. And you have, let's say, the most important is in the belly of the mother and the first year, till they are a year. After a year, you cannot do anything anymore. So this is one of my information I like to give with us, with the breeders. And Ecaho is not only there to punish, Ecaho is also there to help. And this is what I also would like to say.
It would be very nice maybe to actually write down a list of suggestions that Ecaho can, as you just said, but write it down with the proper name of the minerals, you know, and what it can be done to prevent and to support, you know, to prevent this problem, so that we can maybe post and people, they can have it there and read it every time they need.
It's not it's not 100% to prevent, because as in the day, indeed also hereditary.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's also the minerals play a role. And this is what some breeders told me, and I saw that. So just, it's not black out.
Of course, as in breeding. Mohamed, as a veterinarian point of view, Can you explain to our followers why actually those characteristics are problematic for the horse? Nils told us a little bit, but maybe you can give us something more.
Yeah, I believe it's something very important to explain to the people that the overbite and underbite is a serious dental problem. And horse with a dental problem will always have an issue about in general health and condition. Like, for example, the horse, who everybody knows, horse are grazing animal. So when the upper jaw and lower jaw are not touching, the horse will have difficulty in grazing, cutting the grass, it chooses food to eat. And there is another problem, maybe people concentrate more on the front teeth, but the molars have the more effect, because also when the molars are not matching together and not touching together, horse is grinding the food to cut it into small particular and fragment to be easily digested, because horse have a simple stomach. So when the horse are not able to chew the food properly, he will have a digestive problem. And also because the uneven wearing of the molar and the teeth will lead to a sharp teeth. Sharp teeth will cause a lot of damage in the cheeks and the gums, and the horse will have a consistent pain. And some horses will stop eating because of the pain. They are not able to chew right, and that will come with another symptoms like blood in the mouth, excessive drooling, food dropping, bad smell from the mouth. The horse will be restless, changing the behavior. And of course, with all that stress and stuff can come like gastric ulcers. And because the horse are not able to chew the food and digest it right, the undigestible food can cause more problem like digestive problem and colic. Nobody wants to have that. So like small people think it's a small things, but if you look to the result of that small things, it can lead to a big issues.
Of course, this is in the case the over and the underbite, it's extreme, because so what happens if the teeth they actually touch and is not that much? This is also a problem and is also punished or not?
No, if can still touch, that's not the width, as like Nils explained, it's not the width of the teeth, and then the horse is not in the extreme case and still be able to participate in the show.
Okay,
that's
understand. And Nils, when you decided to, I mean, when you, the Ecaho, I say you in terms of as a group, you felt the need to do these new Ecaho rules. Did you decide also how to control them? So for what I heard, the horses that will come and participate in shows, they will have to have a certificate. Can you explain me better about it?
Yes, every exhibitor has to invite his vet at home to check the horse for these two issues and to give him a certificate to state clearly that it's not there. The second phase of controlling, and this document needs to be brought with the entrance formula, which you fill out when you enter your horse. But of course, the DCs at the show still have the power and the right to recheck, because one argument against this rule was that people said, "Ooh, some vets will declare a document even the horse has the mistake." I'm not saying this cannot happen, but first of all, I want to say that most vets are honest people, and I'm not expecting that too much. But second of all, as mentioned before, the DCs at the show still have the power and also a little bit the duty to do checks here and now. People were also saying, okay, then let the DCs do it at the show. No, this is not possible. With all respect, to check 400 horses for testicles and for teeth at the showground, then we need to define the job of a DC a bit different and for sure have to pay them better. This is simply not possible. That's why we keep the duty with the exhibitor and only leave the possibility of recheck to the DCs at the show. But what I also want to state, as Christine mentioned, the situation in a horse can change. For example, it can happen that a 2-year-old stallion still only has one testicle down, but then during the phase becoming 3-4 years, it may descend. If this happens, the owner can still show the horse again to his vet and give him a new certificate if the situation really changed. So once you have the problem, you're first of all out, but you have the chance, if the situation changes, to come back again. And another point is also, you don't need to bring a new certificate for every show. Once you have the certificate and it's valid, you can always bring the same thing, and you don't need to invite and pay vet for each single show.
But and when this certificate has to be done, for example, from the foals that are born this year, the certificate has to be made from when they are yearlings, or when?
For the stallions, from 2 years on, because we had also some experts in this discussion involved, and the general scientific opinion is that the stallions should have the testicles descended at least with 2 years old. Commonly, it should be already there by medical description already with 6 months. But we said, okay, there may be cases where the descent is later, and for the testicles, stallions from 2 years and older, they need to have the certificate. For the teeth, also from yearlings on.
For yearlings, but in that case, maybe as Christine mentioned, that with the nutrition and the feeding, like even a foal can be helped to actually improve. So if they do the certificate, like for example, when they are 6, and then they improve, they can do another, as you mentioned, they can do another one. But in case they are, let's say, kind of okay when they are 6 months, so they do the certificate, the vet says, okay, it's fine, you can go and compete. But then when he become 2 years old, like actually the teeth, like, you know, the situation gets worse and worse, but he still has the certificate from when he was a yearling that says that he's okay, and he comes and he participates at the show. And in that case, he's competing even if he's not good. What happened?
With all respect, I don't think Christine meant that. This will commonly not happen. Of course, nutrition, especially about the mentioned minerals, is important. But a foal which has normal teeth when it's like 3-4 months old will not have an extreme over or underbite when it's 2 years old. This only can happen by damage or by trauma. If this is the case, it must be lucky that the DCC it or something. But this is not a really common situation. This will nearly not happen.
Okay. So, Christine, what you meant about the nutrition is that the food of that the mare takes during the...
Yes, it is when before the baby is born, but also when the first year of life. It's very important, and also that the nutrition must be good, and that, you know, the grain and give the grain and almost no hay. And this was, in my opinion, when I talked to the other people that really knows about it, they said this is one of the problems, is the not enough balance in the minerals, especially phosphor, calcium. And this is something that they have to take care. And the best is, of course, to buy food that is completely ready-made from companies that know what they are doing. And there you have everything in it. And you always can add some vitamins and minerals, but you also can take blood and check it. But what I have seen is really, it was in one place, all horses coming from different areas. And they were not only born there, they also were imported as young horses, 6 months. So I was surprised to see them at 2 or 3 years old, such a big difference in the teeth. All underbites, not overbites, underbites. It was really shocking. And that somebody told me it has to do with the food.
Okay.
And then belief also. And but it's not only this, it can be also that. So you have to take care of your horse. Check it when it's born, follow it up and see what you can do to help. I think it's the most important. And also, like they say, they do a bracelet like they do for human people. And it's not cheating. Of course, in the cheating and the breed, maybe you have to be careful. But at least we want to help the horse, that he has a nice life, that he can eat. And I think it's also our duty to do that. That's my opinion.
At the end, it's the most important part is the health of the horse, beside the shows, probably.
You have to do always, if you put a brace on a horse, you have to do it before he's 1 year old. So let's say and 1 year, and then it can be very helpful.
And Mohamed, as a DC, because you are a vet, you are a DC, you are a ringmaster, do you think this rule can help you a lot?
Okay, this rules like I'm gonna say there is two sides of this coin. Like from one side, as Nils said, we are not now eligible to check all the horses because it's in the hand of the owner to prove that the horse is fine, have no cryptochromosome or overbite and underbite. But from the other side, it put more stress and pressure on the DC and responsibility because, as Nils said, that the certificate didn't prevent us from checking the horse if we suspect that horse have a problem. And in that case, if we find a case where the horse was over the limit, then we need to make a decision. And the decision is to disqualify the horse. Or also, let's be realistic. You are in the big show, tough show, the competition is very high. And now you have received a complaint at the DC from one of the one of the participants that there is another horse with a problem. And how you allow him to participate. So also it's your duty as a DC to go and investigate. So what if you found the case with that problem and then you need to make a decision? The decision will be tough to disqualify the horse, and also with the horse come to participate in the show with the certificate. Then what you have to do, because that means the condition change of the horse or that someone is trying to cheat to participate in the show. So what will be the penalty? What will be the punishment? And until now, it's not clear. So it will be on the shoulder of the DC team to interpret the situation and take a decision according to the situation. So until we find out the cases and until the DC start to report about it in their reports, so maybe we need to figure out how to deal with the thing in the future. But it might be easy from one side, and from the other side, it's a great responsibility and pressure because you are in the end, you will the one who will take the decision. Put it on your shoulders or blame you or something like that, or make a complaint to you. So we will find out later how things will go. But until this come to the reality and we find it on the ground, we will not figure out how things will go. And I think there will be a lot of a change coming in the future, according to the situation later on.
So for what I understood, right now, we have the rule. We know what it is about, but in case the horse will come and participate with a fake certificate, let's put it this way, we until now don't know which will be the punishment.
That's not true. I'm sorry.
No, it's a question. No, it's a question. It's
It is very not very simple, and of course there will be situations which will put the DCs in stressy situations for sure. But we already have this with other rules also. If the DC find that there's a wrong protocol, the horse shows clearly one of these defects, they have to disqualify it.
Okay.
Simple. And the rest will go to the so-called SDC, which will make a procedure and sort out how it came for this wrong document and what will be the consequences for the owner, or also, if possible, that is even under Ecaho jurisdiction, the vet who puts the certificate. So this is not in the hands of the DCs at the show anymore. The DCs only have to decide what will happen to the horse at that show. And that's very simple. If it clearly shows this defect, we're sorry, it cannot compete.
Okay. This is because I got messages that there is people asking, like, what if the certificate is fake? And now you explained it very well, that you know, the horse is going to be punished, and it's also good that at the end also the vet that actually issued the certificate will have kind of some punishment. Otherwise,
the Ecaho cannot punish anybody. Ecaho can only make consequences to the people which are under Ecaho competition official. And there's no way of Ecaho to put any punishment on any vet. But of course, if there's something obviously wrong, or maybe it's a second time, it may be one consequence to say we don't accept any more documents of this vet. This is the only consequence Ecaho can take in this case.
That's good. I have one more question for Christine. Beside the show, as a very respected breeder, Christine and also Nils and also Mohamed, you are all very respected breeders from years. Do you think that, I mean, would you breed with the underbite horse, overbite, or with one horse that carry one of those problems? Do you think this affects strongly the breeding?
Yes, I believe it. We must avoid it. We really must. And sometimes you get it. It's true, because it can come from a grandmother of a grandmother of a grandfather. But before I buy a horse, and this is all my whole life, I opened the mouth and I checked the teeth, because it's very important. And also what Neil said, the testicles, it's very important. There was one in, I think it was Algeria, many years ago, and I went to the racetrack and I saw no one, but several with one testicle. So it's very deterrent for sure. And this is important also for, we have quite a lot of inbreeding, and we have to take care of the semen of the raven horses. So if we have that problem on the top, no, I agree 100% for the both, that we have to, the underbite and the overbite, to avoid it as much as we can, and also the testicles. That's for sure.
It is very important for us to, for you as respected breeder, to share with all of us those info, because it can really prevent some problems, and for new breeders it's important. You have all the experience, the knowledge, so thank you for sharing with us all these opinions.
Maybe to add thing, Francesca, before in Germany and in other countries we had a stallion licensing, which was governed by the national governments, and there was clear rules that stallions with these defects are simply not allowed to breed. They were not accepted. Now we are under 𝐍𝐒, and 𝐍𝐒 does not allow any selective influence of the association. So in former times, people were very clear about these defects, and they made very clear rules. And only in the Arab horse world, because we have this 𝐍𝐒 rule, is the only breed which accepts the stallions in general. And I think we're just taking our responsibility by putting this rule.
Yes, I agree.
We still have the stallion license in Belgium, thanks God, and I'm very happy for that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in the Middle East, we don't have that. So everybody can use any stallion. Probably that's a decision to make, because people also need to be aware of, like, keeping this kind of hereditary thing in their breeding program is not in the benefit of the Arabian horses. If you really love your horses, you don't want to have a horse with issues. You don't want to have a horse to grow up and suffer from a problem or stress or pain or something like that. So it's very important also the people in the Middle East to understand this is for the benefit of the breed. It's not against someone or with someone. It's for the benefit of the Arabian horse industry in general, which we are really love to be.
Absolutely. My next question, as you came up with this content, which I think is very important, is: do you think it will be possible, maybe in the future, to have one rule that, like one rule that covers all the breeders from all around the world, that actually controls the stallion and gives, like, the stallion certificate, so that it checks the stallion to actually be a stallion that can breed? Do you think this will ever happen, to actually have a control like that, that is not only, like, for example, now you have it in Belgium, you need to have the certificate to be able to reproduce, but do you think that in our Arabian horse world, business will ever happen, that every stallion will have to be checked and get a certificate before producing?
No. As long as we have 𝐍𝐒 in charge, 𝐍𝐒 has clear rules. I don't see that they will change it. And as long as we have 𝐍𝐒 as governing body, no, it will not happen unless the countries or other organizations like Ecaho bring in something like that. But Ecaho is only covering about 35 countries, and we are not even stopping the stallions from breeding. We are just stopping them to get promoted on our shows. That's all we can do. The breeding is allowed by 𝐍𝐒, and it's not in Ecaho hands.
I understand.
I think it should be on the breeder's hand, like the Ecaho make the rules, so the breeders will start to getting aware about the problem more. Maybe when they start knowing about the problem that this situation or this disorder can bring to their horses in the future, they will stop using such kind of stallions and think more about the future of their horses. So I think that more now on the shoulders of the breeder to decide what they really want to do with their horses in the future. And it's only to compete or just to breed healthy, a good condition horse who can have a good life and enjoy life too.
It would be important, I think, anyway, to have a certificate, because of course I can see it from my point of view, where I just started breeding. When you breed a horse and the horse is yours, probably you also try to hide a little bit, no? I don't really see the problem that your horse has, and of course maybe if you have a colt that becomes a stallion and maybe has a beautiful extreme face, then you promote it for the face, you know, and you cover your eyes and you don't see the other problem. So it's I think it's very difficult from a personal point of view to be very honest with your own horses, and also to decide not to breed, or you know, you just promote what you do. So probably to have someone that gives certificate and that look at your horse from outside, that is very clean and honest, and say this can be a producer and this cannot be a producer. It's gonna be, it would probably help. I don't know.
For sure, but as a serious breeder, you should also not be blind on both eyes.
Absolutely.
At least. I reflect your breeding a bit serious. This is why it's called breeder and not playing around.
Absolutely. And do you think that as breeders, this is just another question I ask you, to try to spread as much knowledge as we can through our platform, which are the other kind of feature that you really must take care when you choose a stallion, also in terms of structure, in terms of legs, like how do you analyze and choose a stallion?
Chris,
that's a big question. Christine, you start.
Yes. Like the perfect horse, and with breeding you never get the perfect horse. That's the good point. So because you every year you try to improve it, but for that, at the moment I'm really worried. Lately I'm judging especially the conformation and the legs, because we are refining the faces so much. And of course, if you refine the sculpture of the face to get the very pretty face, the whole bones, and at the end we will have statues of horses. I told that several times. So it's very difficult at the moment to find stallions that are with decent eyes, maybe less dishy, but still difficult to find, because they are there maybe, but they don't come to the show. That's the problem, and we don't see them. And before we had the stallion license here in Belgium, Holland, and in Germany, and we went to see the stallion license, and then we could see all the horses. No, we don't have that. We only have the stallions that most promoted, and there's the whole horse. This is, as breeder, for me, it's very important to go everywhere to see everything, and hopefully find new blood all the time. But as being breeder, that's also the fun of it.
Yes. Nils, do you want to add something?
I think this topic is a little bit too long for this format. Now you need to look what your mass are, what you're looking for, what is your important issues. For me, for example, I love movement, and a stallion which cannot move proper would not enter our breeding program. But this is due to the individual taste. I'm a little bit scared to add this to Christine's point, what she said. Today, if people promote their foals, you only see the heads mostly. Yeah. And we have to understand that we're breeding Arabian horses, not Arabian heads. And I'm frustrated by these pictures where people only show extreme dishy faces. Me, I want to see the whole horse. I want to see the construction. I want to see the correctness, in favor also if it moves or not, the attitude, things like that. But we all believe that the only thing we are breeding is faces. And this is, for me, really ridiculous in some cases. We need to get back to horse breeding.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Mohamed, you as a straight Egyptian breeder, for you, the challenge is probably even more difficult because you cannot breed with whatever you see, but of course you keep those lines. So do you agree? Do you want to add something?
Actually, I agree with Niels. Like now we breed Arabian horses, and as a straight Egyptian lover, and I'm a guy live in Egypt and love to ride in the desert, I also like to have a Arabian horse who is correct. A horse like you can really ride in the desert for a long distance, who can carry you on, doesn't flip down. So that means the horse should have a correct legs, good body, and like it's a war horse. It used to be a war machine. That's how we really should look to the horse, not only at the pretty face. You cannot ride on a pretty face. So as a straight Egyptian breeder now responsible on a Badia stud, I'm trying to like keep the philosophy of the old Badia horses, correct legs, good body, good movement, big black eyes. It's like the philosophy is different from one another, but we need to keep that in our bloodline. Maybe in the future we'll need that too, not only the pretty face. So I'm trying to concentrate on having a good body and good structures, horse you can really ride and be reliable to carry you on in the desert. That's the philosophy of the breeding. So I hope we keep that.
I have one more question, then I promise I stop, but I love to talk with breeders. It's just so interesting. Do you think in terms of breeding, as most of maybe the stallions that we have now, we miss a little bit of legs, of structure, as you said, also the eyes, I think we struggle a bit. Do you think that to go a little bit back, so going back to breed with stallions that comes from the Russian lines, or lines that had a very big structure, and it would help to then go forward? So instead of keep breeding with the new stallions that we have, going back with what we were breeding years ago, do you think this would help?
I can answer your question. That's what I am also intend to do. I have still frozen semen of stallions, but as Polish stallions who did the racetrack and were also good in the show. Of course, those days, it was talking about 10 years, 15 years ago. And maybe going one step backwards because you had different blood again. Maybe not immediately step will be good, but maybe between, I think it's not bad. Or another stallion that is very correct. And like also Nils said, with good movement, good power behind, then maybe we have to do one step back to go maybe 2 steps forwards again. That's what I also believe.
Okay. Mohamed?
Like
you think the same?
In the straight Egyptians, unfortunately, we don't have this luxury to use other bloodlines, but we have another problem with in the middle of the straight Egyptian that we have a very small genetic pools, but people are trying to breed only certain bloodlines, and they make the genetic pool even less, because some bloodlines people doesn't like the Desperado thing, the Aura bloodline, the Tifla one, which is really bad because those horses are really good producers and they produce world champions like Royal Color, Lahab, but unfortunately not everybody try to use those bloodlines because of certain rumors and stuff like that. So in the middle of the straight Egyptian, we are suffering even more because people avoid some bloodlines, and which is really not good for the breed, for the straight Egyptians, because we need to expand the gene pool a little bit and use those kind of blood. Those are straight Egyptian, pure Arabians, registered. So we should forget about those kind of rumors and start concentrate about the future of the straight Egyptian and how it can involve all this bloodline to produce a good quality straight Egyptian horse or good quality Arabian horse in general. So we also suffer we have those kind of problems that we need to really think about it and open our mind and think straight and use all the bloodlines and all the genetic pools we have in our hand to create a good horse.
That's super. I think we will need a documentary to really talk about all the aspect and the question that I will have. But for the moment, I think that's enough. We lost Nils in the meantime, but I think this was, for the moment, a beautiful conversation. And I really would love for breeders like you to spread the knowledge that you have to help all of us to understand and to preserve the original standards of the Arabian horses, which is the most important.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure being.
Yes, and thank you for the invitation.
My pleasure as always. Thank you so much. And yeah, I will see you. I will for sure keep inviting you for talking about breeding and many other content until you will tell me, Francesca, it's enough. Alas.
Okay, alas.
Okay. Thank you so much. Whatever content you would like to talk about, please text me. And if you have news about the Revenor's world, let me know so that we can take the chance to connect with all our followers and really talk about all those matters.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much, Christine. Thank you, Ahmad. And thank you, Nils. We lost you, but we sent you kiss. Bye-bye. So this was very, very interesting, in my opinion, a long conversation. This was a long third episode of the Insider News, but this is it. When we have a lot to talk about and very interesting concept, I just prefer to keep going, and who wants to watch us and follow us does. Who does not want, it doesn't. So this is it. It was very interesting. Please, again, I'm gonna tell you, if you have content, if you have things you would like to talk about, just please send us a message, okay? Send me a message, contact with me, get in contact so that we can talk. This was our third episode of the Insider News. I will see you soon, probably in 2 weeks, with a lot of other content. And we have also a little surprise for you all, especially for the Middle East people. But I'm going to not tell you anything. Just keep following us and we will let you know everything. So that's it for tonight. Be sure, if you want to rewatch the live, to go on our Instagram. And if you are driving and you want to listen to something very interesting, go to the new Arabian Insider Spotify channel with all our podcasts. That's it. I'm Francesca Ragno for Arabian Insider, and I see you soon. Ciao!